you guys see the wheel? Hopefully. Hey everyone, it's Bethany from Bethany and Garrett and welcome back to this book nook. Today I'm super excited because I'm coming at you with episode 13, I think, of Will Chooses TBR. As you can see, the Read Me basket is empty, so it's time to fill it back up again. If you are new here and new to this community, please consider leaving a cheeky like and subscribe down below if you want to see more bookish content such as Will Chooses TBRs, reading vlogs, hopefully some fun like outfitty stuff coming out soon. I'd really appreciate the love and support. We are a small channel and the goal for 2021 is to grow to 1,000 subscribers. Fingers crossed you guys can help me out. Anyway, let's just get straight on with the video, shall we? I'm going to spin for 7 books today because I have 2 books on hold already at the library, which I'll show you later. So let's spin for book number 1. Okay, we're all tightened. Spin number 1. LGBTQIA+. Okay, if you haven't seen one of these videos, the way I format it is I do my spins, then Editing Me comes in and shows you what book I chose because often I go to the library as well. So, passing it on to future me. Alrighty, so I am back from the library. It is a little later in the day and yeah, the book I got for the prompt for LGBTQIA+ is The Unspoken Name. I'll try and make sure it doesn't glare for you, but it is a library book, so of course she is covered up. So this is a fantasy, adult fantasy novel. It's an adult fantasy novel and in the Goodreads thing it says it has LGBT representation in it. So it follows our main female lead. I think her name is pronounced Course. This is how you spell it. So I'm not 100% sure how to spell that one. I want to say it might be like Norse or something like that. But either way, she's kind of raised up in this dark cult where she is meant to be a human sacrifice. And she's okay with this. She's raised up to know that's her purpose in life until the day of the sacrifice. She gets offered this position by a mage where the mage will save her and she can become like an assassin, powerful helper, just a person to help the mage like defeat some sort of evil government type of group of people. It just sounds really interesting and it is part of the series, so I'm hoping I really enjoy it and can get into the rest of it. Alright, and so that one is being replaced with the prompt author blurb. So if I find a book, just a random one, and on the back of it, it has to be blurbed by an author I recognise. Okay, spin number 2. Oldest on TBR. Oh, this is always exciting. Let's see what Goodreads tells me it is. Alright, why am I not surprised? This has been on my TBR for so long. I've pulled it so many times. No joke, this must be like the 4th time this has been put in my Read Me basket. And every time I see it, I just remember that it is 900 pages. But I'm excited for it too. I'm not going to delve into it. Check out the Goodreads link if you're unfamiliar. I need to read it. My fringe is not being nice to me today, but you know what? We're just gonna go with it. Oldest on TBR is going to be replaced with lowest rated. Okay, and for spin number 3. Oh, lowest rated. It popped up. Okay, so we have the oldest one on my TBR and the lowest one on my Goodreads shelf TBR. Goodreads, tell me what it is. Alrighty, for this one, it's actually one that's on my TBR shelf in the corner. It's Maestra. This is by L.S. Hilting, and I picked this up last year in one of my hauls when there was like a massive sale on at the Wadi Fari the warehouse here in New Zealand. And it is the lowest rated that I have access to. I think it was technically the 3rd on that list from Goodreads. Honestly, it sounds pretty interesting. It's like tagline is The Talented Mr. Ripley, which I'm unfamiliar with, meets Gone Girl, and it's an adult thriller. So our main character called Judith essentially tries to work 2 jobs. She's, you know, working towards having a better financial lifestyle for herself until she uncovers a secret which gets her fired. And from there, she turns to rage as a coping mechanism. It doesn't sound bad, I mean, hence why I picked this up in the first place, but I am really intrigued to see why it's so lowly rated. I wonder if the fact that it says Gone Girl gives us, the reader, like a certain expectation for it and it just doesn't deliver on that. Awesome, and that one is being replaced with a gifted book. Shout out to Rachel Reeds for this prompt. Okay, alright, I might just sneak over this side because my right arm is definitely better at spinning. So let's just do a quick rearrange. Okay, spin number 4. Way better spin. Hey, a blurb word. So shout out to, is it Annie Pasick? So I remember having to do this. There's instructions on the back for what this means. So it says the first letter of the colour you land on must be the first letter of the blurb. So white, W, the blurb needs to start with a W. This is fun. Okay. Alright, so welcome to this little corner of this room, which you probably won't see a lot of because it's obviously quite dark and awkward to get to. This is the pile of books that I need to read that I own. So it's essentially like my physical TBR shelf, and I was thinking the best way to get this prompt is to just have a look at some of these. So that's what I'm going to do and see what books begin with W in the blurb. Alright, these are the pile of W books. Let's go back to the filming corner. Alright, so this is my pile of W books. Let me have a quick look through and see if any of them speak to me. Alright, I've made my decision. I'm going to go with Artemis. The blurb says, welcome to Artemis, so there is my W. I absolutely loved The Martian, which is the whole reason I picked this one up, so I am excited to get into this. Essentially, we have our main character called Jazz. Yeah, and they are a small-time criminal. They are on the moon, kind of like in prison, I think. And then they have a chance at stealing, embezzling, so doing some sort of crime to get a lot richer. So it just follows that story as it unfolds. Okay, and so for spin number, what are we up to? 5 is being replaced with loved author. All right, let's go. A hated author. Okay, the thing with this prompt, guys, is I don't have books on my TBR pile by authors I don't like. I'll see what I can find on my shelf, and yeah, I'll just come back to you with whatever that result is. Oh, and a shout out to, is it Isle Barrio Nuevo? Okay, so for hated author, I just want to put this out there. I do not hate this author. I have not read from them. What I did instead is pick up The QB Bad Boy and Me by Tay Marley. Again, I do not dislike this author. I haven't read from them. The reason I've chosen this for this prompt, however, is that traditionally I do not like Wattpad books, and this is a Wattpad book. Just traditionally, I just don't think they have a habit of holding up against more traditional novels. It's just a different type of format that suits Wattpad readers, and it's just never seemed to suit me. However, I'm gonna give it blah blah blah. However, I am gonna give this one a shot. It's kind of a classic American she and him jock and probably someone who shouldn't get with a jock stereotype kind of a story. It's definitely got a love subplot in it. It says that, like on the back, who's the Beth Rickles, the author of The Kissing Booth, says that it was a page turner. So I mean, the Kissing Booth author has read this. So yeah, I hope I like it. I never wish to not like a book, otherwise I would just never pick it up. Alright, we've got lots of like author-based ones so far. And that one is being replaced with the first book mentioned in a booktuber's video. So, spinning. Oh, no. Spinning again. Oh, a sequel. This is good. It's giving me a chance to get through my series. Okay, yes. Alright, for the sequel, words. For sequel, I actually originally wanted to find the second one of We Hunt the Flame, which is called like Fire in the Stars. But I couldn't find it in the library. It was just on loan or something. So instead I picked up a Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabah Tahir. This is the 4th book in the Ember in the Ashes series, I think. Now, I read the first 3 books in this series, which is adult fantasy according to my public library, but I also know people have seen it as YA fantasy as well. Yeah, I read the first 3 books years ago now, at least 4 years ago, and I remember thinking the 3rd book wasn't as good, but when I was looking through my Goodreads series I need to finish, this was on there, and I decided, you know what, I'll give it a go. I'll just have to do a bit of a research and read a few summaries of the plots for the first 3 books, so I'm up to date with this one. But I mean, shout out for the pretty cover. I've got to give it credit for that. Alright, and for the last one, that prompt is being replaced with a character wheel. Yeah. Alright, so for the last spin, ooh, a classic. If you guys saw my, what did I title it, like creating my new library, which is this room, I have put all of my classics on this shelf here. So let me just choose one right now. Oh, actually, where's my other, where is it? Is it on that shelf? Okay, I've decided to go for The Alchemist for multiple reasons. For a couple of reasons. Firstly, my partner bought this for me for Christmas, I want to say, so I do want to get round to it. Secondly, it's short, so I have no idea how the rest of this book choosing has gone, but I'm still climbing out of a bit of a book slump, so short is good because it helps me feel success at the moment, but also it's like a more modern classic, right? Like when was this actually published? 1993 maybe, so it's not like old, but it's old enough, and I hear so much about it and counting this one as a classic. Also, look how gorgeous this 25th anniversary cover is. It is absolutely stunning. Okay, and to finish off with, I just wanted to show you the 2 books I've had on hold. One of my goals this year is to actually read the books that I put on my excited to read lists. So I did manage to get my hands on Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas. So the other 2 Angie Thomas books, called The Hate You Give and On the Come Up, are linked together in terms of place, and Concrete Rose is linked in with that story in terms of we follow the father of one of the other books' main characters. So this is same place, set in the past. But I would definitely think that you can read this as a standalone. It's not necessarily a series. They each have their own points and messages within each book for sure. So this follows Maverick, who's a 17-year-old African-American dude, and he becomes a father, so he tries to straighten out his life, but he kind of gets pulled into gang life, and it's just following a young African-American father who's just experiencing life as it is for him. Alright, and the last one here is The Midnight Library. This is by Matt Haig, and I'm just excited for this one because it sounds like the majority of it takes place in a library, which I'm just always going to be a sucker for. If you're a book lover who likes reading books about books, maybe check this one out. It follows our main character who's kind of having a hard life. I'm not sure how. We're just told in the blurb she's having a bit of a tough time, and so she finds this library and she learns that through reading the books she can somehow undo mistakes that she has made, right some wrongs, iron out some wrinkles in her life, until at one point she's put into danger. And just a quick little shout out to this indoor thing. At first I originally thought it was like real and I got so excited, but then I was like, wait, it's 2021. But look. I don't know, I just think that's a really cool detail. But yes, that's the last book that is in here. Okay, and we are at the end of the video. This is my overflowing basket of books that we have just chosen thanks to the wheel behind me. If you guys enjoyed this video, a friendly reminder to please like and subscribe down below to help me out. Stay a few minutes longer if you want to get your own prompt. I do a wheel spin at the end of my bookish video, so stay here for a few more seconds if you want to get your own prompt from the wheel. Otherwise, enjoy all the places you go in your own reading and life adventures, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Spinning the wheel for my beautiful subscribers.
Alright, people who have stayed, let's replace that classic prompt. It is to be replaced with one word title. Sticky, sticky, fixy, fixy, spinny, spinny. One big book read coming your way, guys. If it's greater than 500 pages, that's what the wheel is prompting you to pick up next. I hope you enjoy your read. Let me know what the wheel chose for you. Bye.